So, from tonight, guys, we will start talking about the muscles that we have on this muscle man. I call him my muscle boy. He's a very beautiful, kind model that we have. Some of the muscles, guys, from the beginning are also present on the torso. So, please, some of them, not all of them. So, for some which are present on the torso, please make sure that you can find them on both. Because in the test, I may put the tape over there on the torso or on this model one. The other thing are these handouts that we have here. So in these handouts, you can see a table, right? In this table, you have some parts. For example, here it gives you the name of the muscle. Here it gives you the origin and insertion. For origin and insertion, of course, you need to know the definition. What is origin? What is insertion? For each muscle, guys, we have an origin and we have an insertion. The origin, I mean that we have the connection of the muscle into two bones. One of them is not movable, the other one is movable, right? So that one which does not move is called origin. The other one which moves is called insertion. So it means that when the muscle contracts, always the part that we call it insertion moves towards origin. For example, here we have the muscle which is called masseter muscle. Masseter muscle, I will show you, has the origin and has the insertion. Where is the origin of the masseter muscle? Here it tells you in the table, in the first table. Zygomatic bone and maxilla. Where is the insertion? Manual. It means that part of the masseter muscle which is connected to the maxilla and zygomatic does not move. By the contrast, the other part which is connected to the mandible moves. So you can see that when the masseter muscle will help you chewing. So you can see that when you contract this muscle, which is called masseter muscle, the insertion, which is here, moves toward the origin, right? Insertion moves toward the origin. So where is the insertion? It's a part of the connection of the muscle. I mean, it's a bone. A part of the muscle is connected to it and it does not move. Where is the insertion? The other bone which moves toward the origin. So look at the table you have, for example, the muscle number 1, which is called frontalis. Good? You need to know the name. You need to find it on the model and also on the torso. You are not responsible for the origin and insertion because in the table it's blank. So any part in the table which is blank means that you are not responsible for that part. Makes sense? But you need to know the principal action of the frontalis because it's here in the table. Makes sense? Or for the masseter, you are responsible for which part? Origin and insertion and principal action. But for the orbicularis oculi, you are not responsible. It's blank here. For the zygomaticus, you are not responsible. Makes sense? Yep. So you are just responsible for the things that you have in the table, not more. Right? So let's start it with the muscles that we have in the head. So we start with the first muscle, which is called frontalis. So guys, many of the muscles are named by the name of the bones they cover. For example, frontalis. So from the name, you can guess that the muscle which is called frontalis is located where? On the frontal bone, right? What's the number of it? Let's say 52, I think. So here, guys, we have some keys for these models, but don't trust them that much because sometimes there are some errors in it. You can use it, but make sure that you compare it to the pictures that you have in the book, and also you ask me, right, if you are not sure about it. Don't trust it completely, but use it. And when you use the keys, make sure that when you are done, you put it here. You do not take it home. So the first muscle here is called frontalis. Frontalis is located where? Frontal. It covers the surface of the bone, which is called frontal. What's the principal action of it here? It tells you. It's wrinkling the forehead and also it raises the eyebrow. The other muscle here is called orbicularis oculi. What does it mean, orbicularis? In Latin, it's something which is round. Any kind of muscle which is round is called orbicularis. So you can see that some of the muscles are named because of their shape. Because they are circular, they are called orbicularis. What does it mean, oculi? Where is it located? Around your eye. So from the name, you can guess the location. Orbicularis, oculi. Is this muscle located here, right? It says number 58 on it, orbicularis oculi. What's the function of it? Orbicularis oculi? So blinking is a major function of this muscle that we call it orbicularis oculi. The other muscle is called zygomaticus. Again, from the name, you can guess that this muscle covers which one? Zygomatic one. Look at this muscle here. It consists of two parts, right? Actually, there are two, zygomaticus major and minor, but you are not responsible for them. Just know that these two muscles are zygomaticus muscles. What's the major function of zygomaticus? Smiling. So that's the muscle that you have for smiling. The other one here in the head is called orbicularis oris. Again, orbicularis means what? Round. Oris? Around the mouth, around the oral cavity, right? So this one, this muscle here, number 62, I think, is orbicularis oris. It is around your mouth, orbicularis oris. What's the major function of it? Kissing. So that's a very important muscle, right? Never forget about it, orbicularis oris, because it has a very important function around the oral cavity. All right, orbicularis oris. The other muscle is called temporalis. Easy. Where is it located?
Temporal.
It covers the temporal bone here, number 53. Temporalis. You are not responsible for anything for this muscle. You just need to know the name and location. Temporalis. And the next muscle here, which is an important muscle here, is called masseter, right? This is called masseter. This is the muscle that you have here. Number 65 is masseter. On the torso also you can see it, masseter. All of these muscles can be found on the torso. Masseter is the large muscle that you have all the way here, and is responsible for what, masseter? For chewing, right? It elevates the mandible to close the mouth. It means that you use it for chewing, right? Yet you need to know the origin and insertion. Origin is zygomatic bone and maxilla, and insertion is mandible. So these are the muscles that you have in the head. What are those muscles? This one is called frontalis. Function?
Raising eyebrows.
You raise your eyebrow with it. This one here is called orbicularis oculi. Function. This muscle, these two here are called zygomaticus. Function. Smiling. This muscle here is called oris. Function. You never forget. Kissing. This muscle here is called masseter. Function. All right. These are the muscles that you have, and one more here. Temporalis. Temporalis also is a muscle that you use for chewing, but don't worry about it. You are not responsible for the function. Temporalis is a muscle that covers your temporal. Let's see what are the major muscles you have in your neck. So here you have a long and large muscle here all the way. Number 81. This muscle is called sternocleidomastoid. Before that, you have a muscle which is called platysma. Platysma is the very large and important muscle which covers here. But in this model, it's removed to show you the underlying muscles. So you are not responsible for it in the test because on the model you do not have it. Right? So the platysma is an important muscle, but you are not responsible for the test because it's not here, it's not present on the models we have, right? So don't worry about the platysma. But under platysma, this long and large muscle all the way is sternocleidomastoid. From the name, you can guess the origin and insertion. Sternocleidomastoid. Sternum means what? It comes from where? Sternum, right? So the origin is sternum. Insertion is mastoid process of which one? Very good. So from the name you can guess the origin and insertion. Sternocleidomastoid is a long muscle that we have here. The origin is sternum, the insertion is the mastoid process. You can feel your mastoid process here. The mastoid process of the temporal bone here. And there is a small muscle here which is called sternohyoid. Again, from the name you can guess the origin and insertion. The origin is where? Sternum, again is sternum, and insertion.
Hyoid bone.
What is hyoid bone? The bone that you have here. What's the importance of it?
Crime scene.
Why is important? Hyoid bone. Huh?
The crime scene.
Crime scene. That's correct. It's one of them. The other one.
Because it doesn't have any articulation.
Yeah, thank you, Afwa. Because it does not have any articulation for the other ones, right? So sternohyoid, guys, is this small muscle here. Can you see? This one. So you have three here. This one in the middle, number 77, is a sternohyoid. And its function is what? It depresses the tongue and the larynx. What is larynx? You will see in 4-5 in the voice box, right? So it depresses the tongue and the larynx. Sternohyoid, this muscle, small muscle here. Some muscles in chest, and then we are done because I know you are already tired. So just the 4 muscles that we have here in the chest. What are these muscles? The first one is called pectoralis major. Pectoralis major, we don't need. Pectoralis major is this muscle which is located here, right? So again, it tells you that the origin is clavicle, sternum, and rib, and the insertion is humerus. So you can see that it goes and converts the humerus. Why do we call the humerus insertion? Because you can move it, right? You can move your humerus, right? And insertion will move towards the origin. Can you move the where is it? Clavicle or sternum or ribs? No. What you can move your humerus. That's why the humerus is insertion and the others are the origin. Principal action. Adduct arms. What does it mean? Adduction.
Move away.
Movement.
Closer to the body.
Adduction is what?
Abduction.
Closer to the midline of the body. When you move your limb toward the midline of the body is called adduction. So this is the major function of this muscle. Pectoralis minor, guys. When you remove the pectoralis major, you can see this muscle, number 27, which is called pectoralis minor. So you can see that pectoralis minor is deep to the pectoralis major. Pectoralis major is superficial to pectoralis minor. Again, origin is ribs. Insertion is coracoid process of the scapula. Do you remember coracoid process of the scapula? Do you remember we said that it's a place for the connection of tendons and muscles? Now you can see it. So insertion of the scapula is the coracoid process of the scapula. What's the function? It's abduct the scapula. What does it mean? Abduction? Moving away from the midline. The other muscle, guys, here is this muscle here, number 24, which is called serratus anterior.
What are they called?
Serratus anterior. This muscle here. So this is so don't mix these two together in the test. Sometimes the students take this one for that one. This is pectoralis minor, and this is serratus anterior. Right? Serratus anterior is called boxer's muscles. Why boxer's muscle? Look at the function. What's the function of it? Pushing or punching arm forward. Like what boxers do, right? That's why we call it boxer's muscle. Serratus anterior. Then here, between the ribs, we have the muscles which are called intercostal muscles. What does it mean, intercostal?
In between the
ribs. Here, guys, we have two groups of the muscles. Please add it. We have external intercostal and internal extracostal. Here you have just external. Please add internal intercostal to it, right? So these muscles here which are superficial, are external intercostals. And the next group here, which are deeper to it, are called internal intercostals. So remember, the clue to find them is that the external intercostal, as you can guess from the name, is located exterior, is located superficial, right? And internal intercostal is located deeper. Both of them have functions in breathing. Just learning like this, that they help in breathing. In 205 respiratory system, you will see the detail, right? So external intercostal and internal intercostal muscles. And also look at the direction of the muscle fibers. The direction of the muscle fibers here is different. In the external intercostal is different from the internal one, right? So these are all you need to know for tonight. Again, the muscles that you have in the head are these muscles. This is frontalis. This is oculi. This is
that's the
ocularis oris. This is, these two are zygomaticus. This one is masseter, and this one is temporalis. In the neck, which muscles you are responsible for? This big one is sternocleidomastoid, and this one, small one here, is sternohyoid. This is in the thorax. This is pectoralis major. This is pectoralis minor. This is serratus anterior. This is, which one is that?
internal.
No, that's external. How do you know, Pat, that this is external and it's not internal? The external is superficial, is on the internal.
Oh, you were pointing to these?
No, this is pectoralis minor.
Oh.
We are talking about the intercostal muscles. They are located between the ribs.
Okay.
That's why we call them intercostals.
Right.
We have two groups of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
One is here, which is external. It's superficial to this one. And look at the direction. The directions are different.
They're really good.
You got it? Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. That's all for tonight, guys. Please just label the pictures. Unlike the lecture class here, is too hot. We do not have any moderation. Cold hot. So guys, just label the pictures which are related to these muscles that we talked about them tonight.